R6 tips and tricks that you have never seen before. I'm genuinely kind of excited to watch this. Coconut Bra always finds out like the craziest shit. By the way, go sub to Coconut Bra. Get him to 2 million subs. This guy's literally an R6 legend. But yeah, I'm actually really excited to actually see this because he always finds the craziest shit.
New season is officially here, and these are just some of the insane tricks that you are about to learn. December is going to be absolutely crazy. So
Let's
if you
see,
like
chat.
this video, then be sure to subscribe.
Let's see.
It is free, and you can
sub to Coconut Bra, bro.
There's a new crazy border parkour you can use to attack Armory, and it's going to give you some angles that players have never seen before. You can even shoot through to the corner of small office. It's pretty wild. Anyways, from the roof of border, you can look northwest to vault onto the edge of the roof. From there, run and sprint towards the vertical boards that are leaning up. Once you're on top of those, then you can just move slightly forward and then crouch spam while looking where this barbed wire overlaps for the next vault. From there, you can just vault up and then work your way around the edge and drop onto the elevated overhang below. This parkour isn't gonna be for everyone, and it's not everyone's cup of tea because you are gonna need to get revived with Finka and be low HP for the rest of the round. But this is literally why I play Siege. I just like hitting dumb things that are fun, and this checks all the right boxes for me. So if you like this one too, let me know.
That's nuts!
There's this cool spawn peak that
You
I
need
saw
to go
Jynxzi
think about.
use in a 1v1 on Oregon. It's really easy. You're just in the...
Wait, what did he say? What did he say?
And this checks all the right boxes.
What did he say?
If you like this one too, let me know. There's this cool spawn peak that I saw Jynxzi use in a 1v1 on Oregon. It's really easy. You're just in the garage, you vault up on top of the blue barrel, you take out a section of the door, and you're gonna be able to see people that are running from the street spawn. For some reason, this doesn't even look that sus. I think most people are used to people spawn peeking while prone, either out of the garage door or
that is my spawn peek.
above. This is kind of a random off angle.
Bro, he shouted me out, man!
Simple, good to know about. There's
Thank
a
you, bro.
secret way to take out bandit and mute jammers that are placed on the east wall of archives. If you're playing Zoe or Ash, you can break a small section of the floor in offices.
Okay.
And you'll see that there's a slightly angled light below in the bathroom. This angle of the light just happens to go far enough back underneath of the wall into archives that if you crouch, scoop back, and then precisely hit it, it's going to take out any mutes or batteries on the southern side of the reinforced wall. If the bandit or mute jammer is placed towards the north side of that reinforced wall, then you can simply shoot your impact or charge at the top of that door of the shower wall, and it's going to take that one out too. There's this really simple Kapkan strat that you can start doing on doors that is going to give you a much higher chance to get kills with him.
Oh, that's
By
smart.
punching out a crouch section
Oh,
on
that's
doors
smart.
and then Kapkanning the other side.
That's
if
smart.
an attacker goes to physically check for Kapkans, by the time they see the Kapkan trap, it's actually going to detonate.
That's
I have a
smart.
button here where it'll actually detonate before I even see it. Of course, not all attackers are gonna like take
That
the
is
bait
smart.
and go and just crouch through any door opening that they see. But I gotta admit, I have found
You'd be surprised, bro. I'd say 90% of solo queue ranked players ranging from copper to plat would just walk right through the barricade. I'm not even trolling. That's like a free kill in low ranks.
myself doing this when I see other people have prepped doors. I just go through it. I don't even.
This
check
is
it.
a good video,
Obviously,
bro.
Of course, if they drone it, or
This
break
is a
the
good
door
video.
and physically check it, they do have a chance to see it. But everything in Siege is situational. I just thought this was a really funny strat that you could start doing, and trust me, it's gonna work sometimes. I need to catch you all up to speed with something that's called the self midair. This is something that I learned from the spot busters and a tech that I use for a lot of hiding spots that you see in hide and seek videos. And by using this, you're going to be able to get into some of the craziest places you've ever seen with the new Blackbeard. And I'm not going to gatekeep it from the bra fam, so here we go. By going prone on a squared edge, you can tap left, right until you get the falling animation while you're prone. Once you're in the falling animation, you simply turn 90 degrees back to the edge and then crawl back onto the surface. By doing this, the game thinks that you are in the middle of a falling animation, and so when you run off of a surface, you are gonna go slightly further than if you just ran off of it regularly. Now, by using this strat, we are gonna give ourselves a little bit of a...
How is he finding this out? How?
Extra distance, and the first place we're gonna go is on purple tarps, of course. So yeah, we officially have a purple tarps trick while we're near year 10. I'm not sure if Ubisoft is gonna be super proud of us for this one or cry, but yeah, we're back. You guys already know, once you guys are up here by the purple tarps, you have some of the craziest angles through the most popular site on
Face cam's blurry.
You can even see through the rotate that goes from hookah into billiards. And of course, you can take out anybody that's camping by the hatch that's behind that desk. You can use the self midair strat to do some other really crazy things on Coastline, like launching yourself back on top of the other OG Coastline spot outside of the penthouse. For this one, I just like to vault up on the edge once I'm already on the roof, and then I'm going to go back and forth on the roof side so that in case I do fall, you're not going to die. Once you hit that falling animation and turn 90 degrees back onto the edge, you are going to be able to just simply line yourself up and sprint off of the roof and land on top of the other roof that's outside of the penthouse window for some ridiculous angles. Also, once you're up here, you have so much space to move around. You don't need to just stay over here. You can run all the way to the other side.
Bro, it's like a sprint jump.
Basically every single room that connects to the penthouse. If you do this with a 3-speed and not Blackbeard, you can also
Bro, it's
run
like an actual
into
jump.
the penthouse window. But with slower ops like Blackbeard, it's just very difficult because that vault prompt just disappears so fast, or sometimes it just doesn't show up at all. The craziest thing that you can do with self midairs on Coastline has to be this one that's on the top mid of
No,
literally
stop.
on that little rooftop above the courtyard. If you do this with somebody like an Ace or Habana, you can make some wild lines of sight into billiards and even through that rotate again that's between billiards and hookah. So yeah, you could theoretically have somebody watching the hookah billiards rotate from purple tarps and have somebody watching the hookah billiards rotate from the courtyard roof. I don't even know what people's reactions would be if somebody actually died from getting crossfired from these two areas. That'd probably be one of the most ridiculous plays that Siege has ever seen. Now, where this gets even crazier is if you do this with a Blackbeard, you can even hit a second midair once you're on top of the courtyard roof for the wildest sight take rush that's ever existed in the game.
This motherfucker just jumped inside.
If someone sees a flying Blackbeard launch into sight through a 2-story wall, I don't even know how they would react, but I'm hoping to find out this season, alright? Now, midairs can be slightly complicated, so just in case you're having
I've
trouble
never
with them,
seen this.
I'm going to show a couple things that helped me start landing them really consistently.
On God, I've never seen anyone jump in this game. He's like actually jumping.
First off, I've noticed that locking my frames to 144 seems to help land it and catch me in the falling animation before I turn 90 degrees back onto the ledge. I'm not sure why, but maybe it has something to do with like the game refreshing not as fast, so I have a little bit more time in that falling animation. Don't fully understand it, but in my head, 144 definitely seems to help. The second thing is after I prone on the edge, the rhythm that I'm hitting the back and forth isn't very fast. It's kind of a left, right, left, right, left, right, and I'm not button mashing it as fast as I can, like back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. It's not like a tweaking movement at all. It's pretty controlled and slow. If you turn back onto the edge and you notice that your operator slides quickly onto it, that means that you lost the midair and you need to redo it. When you land the midair, your character should just turn and then stop on the edge, and you should be able to crawl normally back onto it. Once you get a midair by proning on a surface and going back and forth until you hit the falling animation, and then turning 90 degrees back onto the edge, it's good for a one-time use only. This means that anytime you enter in the falling animation, you are gonna use that falling animation or that midair. Therefore, if you do this on a surface that's high up and you can't get down without falling, then you are gonna lose the midair. You're not gonna be able to run to a different part of the map and then use it again. Here is a very simple Azami barrier that you can start doing that's going to really help you hold down blue stairs on bank.
Damn, you can't even see him.
Basically just
you can't even see Azami.
And you're going to be able to see the feet of anybody once they walk through the metal detectors to push blue stairs. This just adds one more layer. Now, if you're stacking this with Goyo and Jaeger ADSs and all types of other stuff, this is going to make it much more frustrating than just a normal push on the blue stairs. Especially in Pro League and high levels, holding the blue stairs is one of the first lines of defense on bank, and if you can delay a bunch of time here, you are setting yourself up to take the round really, really well. And you can see here, I'm playing as the new Blackbeard, and it's still super annoying and kind of aids to push against. There's this secret interaction or ability that you can do with Blackbeard when you come across the certain surfaces on maps where it's a 90-degree angle and they are 2 soft walls touching the corner. Now, if you sprint towards it on one side, if you look too far to the side and you burst through using one of your 4 charge abilities, you are only going to break 1 layer of the wall that's on the other side. But if you continue to sprint and then look slightly right and then charge through, you are actually going to breach both of the soft walls. You're going to be able to go through 2 walls for the price of 1, essentially. There's not like a million different places you can do this around in Siege, but there are 2 places just on this one site in Penthouse, and there are more scattered around the map, so just keep an eye out for it. It's kind of like a random little hidden interaction that you can do with Blackbeard, and if you know about it and a lot of other people don't, then it could give you a big advantage in certain situations. Up next is the simple ATM repel angle, but now it's 10 times better with Blackbeard DMR. This angle is the one that Gunner showed me a few videos back, and this angle can shoot through the rotate between CEO and janitor. The other tip that Gunner mentioned was a lot of people place zombie barriers on the couch to block the CEO windows, so a lot of people think that they're just safe to always rotate through here, but since we are going to be all the way on the leftmost ATM window, we actually have a perfect line of sight that can bypass the barrier, go through it, and have a perfect angle to hit them anyways going through the rotate. Even if they stand far back in janitor, we can shoot the back wall. 10-second Blackbeard fact that you need to know. I covered this in my new season preview event video. Blackbeard can directly counter Oryx. If you see an Oryx charging at you, you can use your dash ability on Blackbeard and completely nullify it. From there, Oryx obviously is going to be able to fire faster than the Blackbeard because the Blackbeard would have to ADS, so I don't recommend ADSing.
You can do that?
But this is good to know about so they don't get knocked on your butt. There's 2 broken nades on Coastline that you can throw soon after spawn.
Bro, this is the exact nade I saw on TikTok. Or no, someone sent this in clips. Does anybody remember? This is insane.
Spawning in ruins.
I actually don't know how to do the lineup though.
Some of the most common
I didn't see that one
on the map. This first one.
I didn't see that one.
Blue stairs through the drone hole. Just look for this joint in the floor, and then look between the 4 mostly cleaned off stone tiles. From there, you're going to turn right and then look top right of the center of this potato looking cloud. Again, it's center of this potato looking cloud, but just top right of the center. You can toss your drone up to make sure it's in line with that drone hole, but when you do throw your grenade, you are going to need to make sure you take 2 steps forward before letting it go. The grenade is going to land on the metal opening of the drone hole and roll down to the middle of blue stairs, detonating within a second of landing. The second nade is even easier than that one, and it's going to be going through the drone hole above Aqua and land behind the counter. Sprint into the northwest corner outside of the window, and then you're going to look at the top left corner of this third design in the roof. From there, you will just take your crosshairs up into the clouds, and you're going to see this very, very faint small cloud that's just a little bit bigger than your crosshair. You can literally just place your crosshair on that little dot of a cloud, and from there you can simply stand still and throw your grenade for a perfect landing every single time. You guys already know we can't even cook grenades, and so these far grenade throws are even better because people are going to have such a small reaction time.
Because they cook in midair.
They literally have like 1 second to get out of there. New Blackbeard has grenades, and there just happens to be this crazy pendant grenade cook on Villa that can take out 2 bomb sites from the safety of your repel. From the stable yard spawn, you can rappel up on the 1-story roof section and push yourself all the way to the top right. From there, I was just lining up my exit rappel icon with the second edge down on that chimney looking thing on the left. There's not too many distinct like clouds here or anything, so we're not doing the usual cloud lineup, but once you do give this a test in a custom game, you can choose your favorite way to line it up too, because you could also use the compass, the ping icon, or any of the other icons that are on screen and just line it up with something distinctive on the building that you'll remember. I'm also on an 87 FOV, so your lineup could be a few pixels off and slightly different.
Bro, this is why I say it, bro. Coconut Bra is insane. Bro, I've been watching his videos for like 6 years. Bro, he always finds out like the wildest shit. Bro, like I said, subscribe to him, bro. He's literally like a goat.
Depending on your settings. But once you do give it a few practice throws and customs,
if you want to learn shit,
nade statuary, or you could even throw both grenades, break the statuary
that is
with
disgusting.
one, and then have that second nade drop into the dining room bomb site below. There's a crazy OP shield that you can start using kind of by pillar and boiler room at the bottom of tower stairs.
Whoa!
We're gonna be making our own pixel.
Whoa! 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 Is this allowed in tournaments, or would this get banned? Is this a glitch?
2 soft walls to take out anybody that's in bunker by the blue barrels. Most people think that they're going to be safe head glitching on these blue barrels here. But as you can see, we're going to use 2 pixels and fry them. Now, if you want an even smaller angle than that, you can actually just place your shield slightly more forward, and then you're going to be able to just shoot out the wall. It might look like a big gap between the actual like wooden part of the corner of the wall and where the shield is placed, but since we're looking at it from like a southeast angle, this is a crazy tiny pixel that's going straight to head level on the barrels. Obviously, if they're doing a tower take, you're going to need to get out of there because you're going to get fried. But if not, if they're doing a bunker push, this is a really good one to hold for the first like 20-30 seconds of a round. There's this wild C4 that exists on Lair that involves using all 3 floors, a jump out, and some good timing, but it actually has a high success rate and it's really easy to do. While you're defending Master Office on Lair, there's this big wall that attackers like to push.
Yeah, everybody thermites this wall.
Straight to the outside.
Everybody thermites this. What
we're going to be doing is going below and prepping 2 windows. The first is the Armory window, which is the one that you're going to be jumping out of, and the second window that you're going to prep is actually the filtration window in the basement. This is the window that we're going to jump back into instantly after we jump out the first time. If any attacker goes outside of this wall to breach or prone and drone, they're going to be in the perfect spot to catch your C4, and a good tip here is to hold your C4 out already before you vault. You can still vault out of windows while holding a C4 out, so take advantage of that tactic and jump out, slightly turn to the right, toss it up to...
Bro, that's dirty. Oh my god, that's like a free kill every time. Because thermite always goes to that breach, and no one's ever going to think about this window.
The floor above, smack the attacker in the back of the head with the C4, and then jump back in that basement window that you prepped earlier. Makes for one of the best kill cams of all time. With Operation Collision Point, we do have the option to toggle off sense projector lights before you even throw it. So taking that idea, Pendant showed me this really cool and really simple lineup that we can use for a ton of pushes on Oregon. From the construction spawn, if you kind of just push yourself into this corner, you're going to notice yourself get caught. Then we're going to look at this dot on the wall and then look at this dot on the top left of the doorway. From there, just aim down until your throw projection line is towards the ground. And when we bounce it off of here, it's going to go perfectly from the corner all the way to the blue barrels. Nearly perfectly center in the blue barrels too. It's literally like the most textbook perfect throw you can possibly do. From there, you're going to have a really good easy rotate going towards pillar. And when you throw this, you're 100% safe. Unless they actually come running out outside, then you could get swung, but you can do this super fast. It's a really easy lineup. And once they are placed, they are bulletproof. So even if a defender sees it, they're not going to be able to shoot them to take it out. It's not that simple.
That's
they would have
really
to use
smart.
impact or another explosive. And I don't think too many defenders are going to want to use a C4 to pre-blow it up, especially if they don't even know what's going on or what you have planned. From the defender's point of view, whether they have a Mira or just a reinforced wall or opened it up completely, it looks pretty weird from the defender side. And I think that sense actually does have some good potential to be useful this season. In Master Bedroom on Oregon, there's this really underrated vault cam that you can do, and this kind of doubles because people are going to think that you're just using this as an angle to watch main door, which you can do. But what we're actually doing is breaking a tiny spot in the floor and then going below, and we're going to drop a vault cam up underneath the sheets. Once this vault cam is placed here, you're gonna have views on the balcony door. Anybody that's going in to walk in, you're gonna be able to do pre-placed C4s. If nobody's even pushing the balcony, you can come back in here, watch the main entrance walk in. Just so much intel. You'll be able to use it for sound cues late in the round. You can hear people walking around trophy. Crazy good cam, really underrated.
That's a nasty.
It's me, your skin. I crave being clear without irritation. CeraVe.
Ban anyone typing target audience. My acne is on the improvement.
Treats acne and allows me to heal.
My acne's improving.
99% of grease. It's the goat. And that's coming from a duck. The better grease getter.
Okay, what? Ban anyone typing target audience.
On Oregon, there is a secret way that you can electrify this hatch if you go prone and then look northwest under the stage. Now, you want to make sure you don't throw this claw too high because the edge of the claw can actually stick through.
That is so fucking smart. Bro, normally a Habana would think that the Cade is under the hatch. No one would check that corner.
through, and it's like a little finger sticking out of the stage.
That is
but as long as you
so
throw it at the right height,
smart.
about where you saw me throw,
Oh
it's completely
my
invisible.
God.
And unless they have an IQ scanner to figure out where this electri-claw is, they're probably going to assume it's in one of the corners, and it's going to be very hard to hit with the EMP impact. When thrown correctly, even if the tip sticks out tiny bit, you can barely see it, and it's still invincible somehow. You actually have to go prone to shoot it to take it out. There's a secret cade claw on Lair that you can place after you reinforce the reception hatch. You can actually angle your electri-claw, and once you see that it's vertical deep inside of the bottom of the silo thing, it's gonna actually still reach the hatch. It's gonna take a little bit of like slight adjustments and stuff. Just make sure that when you throw it, it's straight up and down. Once it's straight up and down, you're gonna see that it actually goes even further into the silo. It's crazy hard to spot. It's not wall bangable. They're gonna either have to prone here to shoot it, or they're gonna have to EMP it. There are certain corners that exist in Siege where you can place an idle Scopo shell, and they are invincible to bullets. In the shower on Clubhouse is one, and here on ATMs is another. Now on top of that, there's also a way to place this specific ATM Scopo shell so that when you switch back, it's completely silent to attackers and they'll have no clue that you're right behind them. By going back as much as you can in the corner while you face southwest, you can place a slanted idle Scopo shell down. And because it's so far back, when you switch to use it, your shell that you're taking over is actually going to do a 180 and turn around. And I guess since they're not like smacking the shield or something, it just makes it silent when it switches.
What?
It's already like a pretty solid Scopo shield. I guess it's not as good now since Blackbeard can just simply charge it, and you're not going to have to like waste as much utility. Like you're not going to be able to get rid of like an Ash Breach charge or anything like that. But it's still a decent spot. Anyways, I'm going to turn the volume way up here so you can check it out for yourself.
Oh, it's actually
Here's
silent.
a really simple trick that you can hit with Goyo when you are defending archives. So we all know the tragedy
Where was
of the
that?
computer being moved.
Where was
I tried to
that?
get people to stop going up here on the shelf in archives, and we learned quite a while ago that you can simply just sprint from the computer to get back onto the shelf and then vault up. But did you know you can actually place Goyo canisters down while facing slightly north, and when a defender shoots these, this fire is going to spill over onto the other side and cover almost half of the room. It's pretty wild here. If you get any indicator that like a Monty is going for a default plant in archives, you can hit this, and
dude,
the
that's
fire
nasty.
goes so incredibly far. You're gonna have to stand all the way in the corner if you want to actually be safe from this fire.
Bro,
Overall,
this guy
is
knows
just a
like
really
everything.
simple go-to trick if you are like really just tired of all the parkour shenanigans that we've been doing lately, and if you are a correct player, a quote-unquote correct player, and you want to
Jynxzi, your hairline is brazy, said the real J Murda.
play sight with Goyo, this is a really nasty trick that you should be on the lookout for. There's this really cool C4 that you can throw all the way from the
I've seen this
server
one.
room,
This
and
one is
it's gonna fly
insane.
out of the armory window and take out anyone that's playing the vent window. I'm assuming a lot of Blackbeards could be out here this season, so it's kind of perfect timing with this trick. Anyways, just break a small section of the floor that's above that group of small vertical pipes on the wall, and then you're gonna angle yourself so that the C4 just clears the left side of the window.
Oh, hey, that's
And that
nasty.
throw projection and the
That
angle
is
gonna head
nasty.
straight towards attackers that are playing outside of
That's
that vent
nasty.
window. It all happens really fast, and actually, if attackers repel up this window to clear armory to do like a top-down take, you could even use this C4 to take out people that are repelling on this window.
so
It reminds me of a very similar C4 we see in a lot of Pro League games on Cafe, but we've already covered that one, so I'm not going to cover it in this one. There's a few really strong places to place a Fenrir gadget.
Bro, I swear to God, I was solo queuing rank 2 days ago and I died to this Fenrir.
For any attackers that are playing on Terrace that might consider pushing Warehouse Balcony. Now if you place one too west, they're still going to be able to take the gunfight and push you, but as you start placing them closer to the Terrace, it gets more and more annoying. My favorite is the one that's on the west side of the light. It's kind of a good middle ground.
Bro,
a lot
you
of
can't
times
even
you
see
can leave
that.
this door barricaded, and then once you get the notification that
I'm doing this in Copper to
you
Champ.
can just pre-fire the
Oh,
door,
I'm
figure
doing
out
that.
where they're at. You
I'm
don't have a
doing
huge
that.
advantage on them. Cool Deimos fact that you should know about going into the new season is that you can actually just ping a gadget even if you have no idea who the operator is, and you'll be able to instantly Deimos track them. The second part to this is that you can actually start a Deimos track.
I didn't know
and
that.
cancel a Deimos track so that you see the ping on the defender, but the defender doesn't see a ping on you, or it only shows up for like
I didn't
a
know
couple
that.
of milliseconds. This is a good strat, and I know Spoit does this a lot in his like 1v1, so it's a cool thing to keep in mind. In the R6 room on Lair, there's this spot in the floor that you can break, and there just happens to be the perfect overlap in walls from below to place a Kiba barrier on it for it to expand up and create your own wall smack in the middle of the room, which you can use to defend both the north entrance and the south entrance. There's only 3 entrances to this room, and the third entrance is the other bomb site, so this is covering the other 2 main exposed areas of the room, so it's pretty cool. You can place a second or third Kiba barrier on this if you want to expand it anywhere that you want to have angles for, and this is one of the easiest floor Kibas to create in Siege right now, so take advantage of it.
Oh, that's
Honestly,
nasty.
I don't really like doing drone spots, but since we have the new drone jump projection, I wanted to show you a couple spots. This first one on border was originally kind of difficult to do, but now that we have the jump projection, it is much easier. The second one is really easy on skyscraper, but overall good spot too.
Bro, if you don't have jump projections turned on, turn them on, bro.
Anyways, I'm basically just parkouring my way all the way up into the southeast corner, and I'm gonna camp my drone on top of this light that's overlooking workshop. Originally, that yellow sign was really annoying to land on, but since we can see exactly where the drones are going, you can get it precise every single time.
Damn.
You're gonna be able to see nearly the entirety of it, and it's gonna be hidden behind the lights. I guess that's what this is, but yeah, you're literally just hiding behind it on top of the little robot eyes. The second drone spot is on skyscraper. You don't necessarily need the jump projection for this one. You're gonna just scoot forward pretty much all the way forward to the edge of this drone hole, which a lot of people don't realize exists because nobody has a reason to go up on top of this roof part anymore. But basically, if you jump your drone, you're gonna bounce off of the front, drop down, and then continue forward and land on top of this ledge inside of Dragon. From there, you can drive around quite a lot above Dragon. I usually just leave my drone right here, and it's a good spot that goes overlooked a lot of times. Honestly, I don't really like
that. Is an
drone spots in
insane
videos
drone.
because I feel like they're just really
wow.
boring. But since we have the new drone jump projection, I thought these were cool to share on this one. I hope it didn't
That's
kick off the video
nuts.
from these 2 drones. Did you know that Flores drones can jump up
Yes.
melee holes to reach places that essentially you're not supposed to be able to go with Flores? Basically, any soft surface of a floor, as long as it's next to a soft wall, you will...
Bro, this is why Siege is like the coolest game ever. Bro, there is no other game like this. There is like 1,000 different ways to get a kill in this game. It's actually insane.
be able to jump and parkour a Flores drone all the way up. Now, one thing that a lot of people don't
Chad,
realize
is there
that
any game in the world where you can actually be more creative with kills? Like, what do you like? Is there any game?
You can actually do this same thing by just shooting one layer of wall out. You actually don't need to expose yourself and run up and punch soft wall. This example here on Cafe is kind of perfect because you're doing all of this from the safety outside of the window. By just shooting the wall at an angle and chipping out one section of it, you're creating a double jump that can go all the way up to the hatch above.
No.
It's pretty cool. You can do this in a ton of different places, not just exclusive.
Oh,
to
that one's
literally
insane.
any soft wall. You can do this.
That
and
one's
jump up to the ceiling
insane.
with. Anyways, if you're still watching this video, thank you so much. If you liked this video and want to see more,
W Coconut, bro, go sub to him, bro.
be sure to subscribe.
Bro, he's literally like he's a fucking S tier R6 YouTuber, bro.